I'm going to say something that may challenge the way that you're currently looking at your content. If your posts are getting a lot of views, but your revenue hasn't changed, those views are not proof that your marketing is working. In many cases, it's proof that your content is attracting attention without building trust. And for insurance agents and financial advisors, we know that trust is the entire business. So today, let's break down the difference between authority and popularity and why a lot of views doesn't always equal trust. I'm David Belleville, and this is the AmeriLife Marketing Mentors. In 2026, popularity and authority are two completely different strategies. They look similar on the surface because both can generate visibility, but they produce very different outcomes. If you're not clear on which game you're playing, you can unintentionally build an audience that will never turn into clients. So let's start with why views feel like success. Views are public, they're measurable, and they give you that instant feedback. When a post takes off, it feels like momentum. It feels like relevance, and the platforms are built to reinforce that feeling. Social platforms optimize for attention because attention keeps users on the platform longer. They are not optimizing for whether you close a policy, book a retirement review, or generate a qualified appointment. Attention and buying intent are not the same thing. You can have thousands of people watching a short video about 3 money mistakes and still have no one booking a call. Why? Because broad, high-level content attracts broad, high-level interest. If it attracts people who are curious, entertained, or casually learning, it does not automatically attract people who are ready to make large financial decisions. That is where the difference between popularity and authority becomes critical. Popularity means a lot of people like what you're saying. Authority means the right people trust what you're saying. Popularity is wide. Authority is focused. Popularity can grow quickly. Authority compounds slowly over time. So if you're an insurance agent or a financial advisor, you do not need everyone to like you. You need the right people to believe that you understand their situation and can guide them through it. Here is what typically happens when someone chases views. They create general content that applies to almost everyone. They avoid specifics because specifics limit reach, and they avoid talking about pricing, structure, product strategy, or strong opinions because those topics can be polarizing. So they try to keep everything relatable, and that keeps things safe. The result is that their content appeals to a large audience of spectators. People scroll, people watch, people may even leave a comment. But those people are not necessarily homeowners in your state, business owners with a key person risk, or pre-retirees with 7 figures in assets. They are simply just viewers. So from a marketing perspective, you've built reach without alignment. So now let's talk about the algorithm side, because this is where many people unintentionally hurt themselves. Social media platforms learn from your best performing content. If your most viral posts are humorous takes on finance, trending audio clips, or broad money advice, the platform will continue showing your content to people who enjoy that type of material. When you later post something much more specific, such as a breakdown of annuity structures or a detailed conversation about Medicare planning, that content may underperform. Not because it lacks value, but because you train the platform to find the wrong audience. And this is why you hear people say, my educational posts get fewer views. That is not always a content quality issue. It is often an audience conditioning issue. And authority content behaves differently. Authority content speaks directly to a defined segment. It addresses specific problems. It explains how you think about risk protection, income, tax efficiency, or long-term planning. It makes your philosophy clear. It's willing to repel the wrong audience in order to resonate deeply with the right one. That type of content might not go as far or viral. It may not get the highest view count, but it will attract people who say, this advisor understands my situation. And that sentence is far more valuable than 1,000 passive views. When someone trusts your thinking, not just your tips, you move from being content that they consume to being a professional that they consider. There's also a psychological component here. Financial decisions involve uncertainty and emotion. Clients are not looking for the most entertaining advisor here. They're looking for someone that they feel is competent, steady, and clear. If your content is optimized for entertainment value instead of clarity and conviction, then you may unintentionally weaken the perception of your expertise. Authority requires repetition. It requires consistency in positioning. It requires you to say similar things in different ways over and over again, so over time, your audience understands what you stand for. That is not as exciting as chasing trends, but it builds recognition and trust. If you want your marketing to generate actual business, you have to shift what you optimize for. Instead of asking, how do I get more views? Ask, am I attracting the people that I want to serve? Instead of focusing on reach alone, focus on what resonates. Instead of celebrating view count, measure inquiries, booked calls, and qualified conversations. This is especially important in insurance and financial services because your market is defined. You serve a specific geography, a specific income range, or a specific life stage. So popularity across the entire internet does not help you if the majority of those viewers will never become your client. There is a trade-off that most people avoid acknowledging. You can build a large, broad audience that enjoys your content, or you can build a narrower, more focused audience that trusts you enough to move forward with you. Very few people achieve both simultaneously, and when they do, it's usually because they've built authority first and then expanded later. Views are easy to measure, but trust is slower and harder to quantify. But it's also what leads to applications signed, assets transferred, and policy issued. If you are serious about using content as a growth channel, you have to decide what game you're playing. If you want popularity, optimize for entertainment and mass appeal. But if you want authority, then optimize for clarity and consistency, even if that means fewer views in the short term. Because in this industry, the advisor who is trusted by 100 right-fit clients will outperform the advisor who is liked by 10,000 random people on the internet. So if you're ready to shift your strategy toward authority and long-term positioning, make sure that you follow along with the AmeriLife Marketing Mentors, because we are going to continue breaking down how branding, AI, and trust-based marketing intersect and how to convert attention into real revenue in 2026. I'm David Belleville with the AmeriLife Marketing Mentors, and we'll see you next time.